exploring how right now with real people, real stories for real change. Laura Merchant.
If you think about, faculty and staff being the foundation of the school, and you think about like a house of cards, you really need that foundation strong, right? So if it's
Yes.
not, the rest of it is just going to crumble and fall apart. And that's what will happen to faculty and staff if they're not feeling supported. They will end up feeling defeated and depleted. And, vicarious trauma is a real thing too. There will be burnout. More and more things to do, and that can be very stressful.
The most difficult part of my job is probably not having enough resources.
As a teacher, we have never-ending deadlines, never-ending work. There is always something to do.
I would say the most stressful part of teaching is everything not related to teaching. So communication with parents, things that are put on you by your administration.
The shortage of teachers right now, having to fill a lot of holes and wear a lot of hats. It's very difficult.
Thank you all so much for being here today. I am super thrilled and excited to be here to share how right now the campaign, we know that teachers and school staff working in schools is very challenging and nobody can do it all. And this Teacher Appreciation Week, it is okay to spend some time doing something that re-energizes you. Appreciate what you accomplished today and focus on the actions that help you meet your own needs and maintain balance. How right now? I am so thrilled to bring in this phenomenal guest and thought leader who is here today to impart all of his wisdom with us. His name is none other than Stand Tall Steve. He is driven to help schools, associations, and organizations create a better culture and climate through creative innovations and encouragement. His books, Stand Tall Leadership and Ideas, has been a jumping point for hundreds of organizations on how to increase morale, change the culture, and improve the culture of the students and the staff. And without further ado, I would love to turn it over to Steve. Thank you so much for being here, Steve. Welcome. I'll hand the stage over to you.
Hey, thanks so much. I appreciate it greatly. Thank you for having me. Thank you for everybody for there. And first of all, I just want to say happy Teacher Appreciation Week. This is, as an educator, it's always good to know that that Appreciation Week is there to have people kind of say, hey, we hear you, we see you. And so I'm saying that to all my educators that are out there. Now, the first thing that I think everybody's probably wondering is why in the world is my name Stand Tall Steve? So for those who don't know me, first of all, I am a tall guy. I'm 6'7" tall. No, I'm not a basketball player. Yes, I can play basketball. No, I will not do it for you. Yes, I could dunk the ball. Yes, I played in high school. No, I did not play in college. So, and yes, I enjoy the sport. So those are the things I get all the time because of who I am. I look like, tall guy, bald head, got to play ball, but that's not who I am. That's just the way that I kind of connect with people. But my background is I'm a former teacher, principal for most of my career was as a building level principal, assistant superintendent, and superintendent. Now, during my time, specifically as a building level principal, one of the things that really was pretty amazing and great in my schools was the positive culture and climate and environment within my schools. Now, it does not mean to say that we didn't have stress, we didn't have problems and issues and concerns like a lot of schools do, but the overall environment in the school was very, very positive. And it didn't always start off that way. I went into some schools as leaders and it was a hot mess. But through that process, we really developed an amazing culture and climate. So with that, if just jumping into everything, the focus of our time today is going to be unlocking culture and climate. So in this time that we're talking about Teacher Appreciation Week, and we're talking about what it is that we want best for all of our students and for our teachers, it really does revolve a lot around the culture and climate within the building. That video talked about, de-stressing and how you have stress and all the mechanisms and things that we do in order to improve that level of not having the stress. I feel one of the best ways to do that is have a positive culture and climate within your building to begin with. If that happens in your building, in your classroom, that's going to lower that level of stress so that you can do what it is that you really want to do, which is teach. It is to teach. I just was speaking to a school just today in North Jersey, and I said the same thing, and all the educators said, all we want to do is teach. Please, that's just what we want to do. So let's dive into this. We're going to spend some time today talking about culture and climate. And Siobhan, if you have questions at any time, feel free, jump in, ask a question, interrupt me, so that way I'm making sure that I'm covering and getting the information to everybody that they need. Sounds like a plan?
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, Steve.
All right, sounds good. All right, so here's the first thing I want everybody to understand. Here's the concept. The concept is, before we even get into culture and climate, is reduce, not eliminate. Reduce, not eliminate. Now, what do I mean by reduce, not eliminate? In schools, in education, we have a lot of issues, problems, and concerns, right? Many of issue, problem, concerns. We have the discipline issues. We have behavior issues. We have attendance issues. We have staff, all of these different issues, problems, and concerns. So when we have these issues, problems, concerns, what do? We put together a committee. That's what we do, right? We love a good committee. Everybody loves a good committee. Get a committee together, get a team together, and let's discuss the issues, problems, and concerns. When we are having these committees and things that we are doing in order to go over these issue, problem, concerns, we usually go into this committee figuring out what can we do to eliminate this. We have an achievement gap. What can we do to eliminate it? We have a behavior issue. What can we do to eliminate it? We have poor morale by everyone. What can we do to eliminate it? We have students acting and cursing. What can we do to eliminate it? I'm here to tell you, you're not. You're not going to eliminate it. That kid has been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years, okay? When that kid leaves, that kid's going to come here. Some of you on this webinar were that kid. Those issues, problems, and concerns are going to keep reoccurring. They're going to be there. So when you get into your committees to try to work on this, a better way to think about this, instead of going in there to what it is that we can eliminate, what should we consider? Reduce. What can we do to reduce the issue, problems, and concerns? Because when you reduce the issue, problems, and concern, that automatically increases the probability that teachers will be able to do what they really want to do, which is teach. That's what's the difference here. A lot of times we're going into this, we're talking about reducing of stress and reducing. Let's reduce the stress by thinking more realistically that what can we do to reduce some of these issues, problems, and concerns that we have in school. Now, when you're doing that and making your plans and putting things into motion, now we're working at a much more realistic level. Here's the last little thing about reduce, not eliminate. A lot of schools don't recognize the reduction. So when you reduce the issue, problems, and concerns, a lot of times we don't take the time to recognize that it's been reduced. You have a student who's been running out of the classroom. He's been running out of the classroom 7 times a week. Now you've gone together in your committee, you've reduced it, and now he's only running out of the classroom 4 times a week. But what does the teacher say? Well, he's still running out of the classroom. He's still running out. But it's reduced. Recognize the reduction. And now as an educator, if you're not utilizing that reduced amount of time, well, then that's another conversation we need to have. Oh, the attendance is still a hot mess, but it's reduced. Recognize the reduction and keep that momentum going. That's what it is. That's what we're trying to do when we're talking about culture and climate, and we're going into these committees to try to make things better. So you'll hear me say reduce, not eliminate often during our time today. Because ultimately, what do we want? We want to have results. We want to get positive results. We want to get positive outcomes in our schools. And what are those results? Different schools have different results. Some schools, your results are you want better test scores. Some results are you want teachers to be more engaged. Some results are you want parents to be more engaged. Some results are you want students to be higher grades, more engaged. But whatever those level of results are, we're going to look at a formula to make that happen. And here's the formula as relates to culture and climate. It's the results formula. Now, I have to clarify, everybody, I did not create the results formula. I wish I did. There's a company out there called Jostens. They do caps, gowns, rings, certificates, yearbooks, all that stuff. They have a program called Jostens Renaissance, which is all about culture and climate in schools, and they came up with the results formula. Now, here's the thing, though. I, as a building administrator, implemented the results formula, but I have broken it down even further. And I think that this is a magical thing that can utilize and help your schools move in the right direction. So let's go through each of the different R's. First R is respect. Which you respect, recognize, reward, and reinforce. Respect. So the question is, what do you respect and value? That is the anchor. That is the main piece when we're talking about culture and climate. A lot of times in schools, I always go around, and here's the thing. Let me come out and explain this to you. When I go and visit schools, because I go visit schools all over the world, whenever I go to any school, I always ask them, if I was to ask all the people in this building what it is that you respect and value, would everyone say the same thing? And I guarantee you, there's not been one school that says yes. They all mention the same thing. Everybody says nope. Everybody would say something different. So that's the beginning stages of developing that positive culture and climate. We have to have a collective commitment, collective understanding of what we all respect and value. Right? Let's break it down to your family. All right. I'm a father of three. Siobhan, you have what, two kids? How many kids do you have?
Yes, I have two.
You have two. Okay.
Mhm.
So we're both parents. I'm hoping the people that are in here, I'm sure they're parents as well, right? As a parent, now answer me this, Siobhan. As a
Okay.
parent, one of the best things ever that you can say, that you would get feedback from, is if your child is out in the community, out somewhere, and somebody comes back and says to you that they said something, your child said or did something based off of the values that you had at home.
Oh, absolutely. And I have an example too.
Yeah? Okay. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
share.
So my daughter came home from the grocery store once and she was like, Mom, the berries, blueberries fell all out of the container. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so what'd you do? And she was like, well, I picked them up. And I was like, well, that's what they have the cleaning crew for. She was like, now, Mom, you know good and well, if it had been you, you would have picked up the berries. And I was like, oh, so what I'm doing is sticking. So it really made me very, very proud.
Yes, there you go. See, your children embody the values that you instilled in them. So let's take this over into the school. As a leader of a school, as people in the school, wouldn't that do your heart well, knowing that everyone in the school has similar or the same set of things that you respect and value, and therefore they're behaving and acting in the same vein? That's what we're talking about. We bring it down to the classroom level. As a teacher, as an educator, isn't that what you want in the classroom? All the students understanding what it is that you respect and value, and then operating within that vein. It's collective commitments. That's the first beginning pieces when we're talking about respect and value. Now, once you've identified what you respect and value, you need to do something called internal branding. Now, what do I mean by respect and value? I'm talking about 3 words, simple, easy words that everybody knows. In this school, we're about teamwork, accountability, integrity. 3 simple words, or 4. All right? Maybe make it an acronym. And then internal branding means that you put it everywhere, all over the place. If a company has a brand new product, what do? They get together a branding or marketing team, and they sit down and they talk about what's it going to look like, what's it going to sound like, who's our demographic, how often we're going to talk about it, what's the colors. They go through all these different things to what? Increase the probability of success. So once you've identified what it is that you respect and value collectively, then you're going to figure out when we're going to talk about it, how often we're going to talk about it, where we're going to post it. So internal branding means not only are you posting it everywhere, it's said during the morning announcements, it's said during assemblies, it's put in email signatures, it's talked about during the beginning of each meeting, it's at the end of each meet. It is like everywhere. It's talked about and posted everywhere. Now, again, what kind of words are I talking about? I'm talking about words that everybody knows the meaning to. Everybody knows what this is. In this school, we're about teamwork, knowledge, and independence. In this school, we're about fairness, accountability, and integrity. We're about honesty, efficiency, and effectiveness. Core words, right? Simple things. We're about grit, achievement, and passion. We're about courage, creativity, and growth. Does this make sense, y'all? Right? And here's the thing. I have actually a list, right? And if those are here, you want some, I can put some notes or something like a list of words that are positive words. Turn it into a survey, give it to the staff. Have them pick 12 words. Then from those 12 words, have them pick 6. Then of those 6 words, have them pick 3. Within 15 minutes, you can easily identify what everybody respects and values in your school, in your organization. All right? That's how this works, right? Now, from here, once you've identified what it is that you respect and value, what we want to do is we ultimately what? We want a positive culture and climate. But the issue is that we don't know really what's the difference between climate and culture. We always talk about that. We always say, oh, we want a good climate and culture, but do we really break down what climate and culture really is? Right? So let's do that. Let's break this down exactly what climate and culture is. Here's the diagram. Because once you understand this, then you'll have a better understanding of how to move forward. Now, right here in the middle of this diagram is the word respect and value. Remember, that's the core, that's the beginning. Once you identified that, let's say you're a building leader, you've worked with your staff, you come up with what your core words are: teamwork, integrity, accountability. They all agree on it collectively. If you're a classroom teacher and you're doing this, you pick it. You pick the 3 words, you pick the 4 words. Be a teacher, be an adult, but collectively building wide. Now, let's talk about climate. Climate is represented by this wavy blue line, right? Now, I went to ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT, thinking of K-12 schools, how would you define the school climate? Now, I don't know if you know this, Siobhan, but you say ChatGPT to educators and their heads start spinning. They're just like, oh no, but calm down, educators. Nothing wrong with some ChatGPT sometimes, all right? So anyway, I went there and I asked ChatGPT to give me a definition. How would you define a school climate? Now, I know you guys know how to read, but I'm going to read part of this verbatim. So in the context of K-12 schools, the school climate refers to the overall atmosphere, social environment, and prevailing attitudes within the school community. It's the quality of the character, interactions among students, teachers, administrators, staff, parents, right? This is my favorite part right here. The school climate reflects the shared values, remember, respect and values, shared values, norms, and expectations that shape the learning environment and influence students' academic, social, and emotional development. I don't know about you, but that's the best definition of school climate I've ever seen. Darn you, ChatGPT. So let's simplify this. If we simplify this, climate is the emotional state people feel when they enter a space. That's what climate is. How do you feel when you walk into your school, when you walk into a classroom? Right? That's what climate is. You walk outside, there's the weather. How do you feel? You feel it. That is what climate really is. Now, looking at our diagram, it's a wavy blue line because climate fluctuates. Right? Sometimes it's close to what you respect and value, and sometimes it is not. It changes month to month, week to week, minute to minute sometimes. Like the climate at the beginning of the school year is different than the climate before state testing. Yes? Yes. The climate before winter break is different than the climate on June 3rd, right? Yes, yes, there you go. All right, so we have climate. So now let's talk about culture. What is culture? Went to ChatGPT. I asked, thinking of K-12 schools, how would you define the school culture? Once again, I know you know how to read, but I'm going to do a little verbatim reading of this. All right. Now, school culture refers to the shared values, beliefs, traditions, customs, and practices that shape the overall identity of K-12 school. Collective attitudes, behaviors of teachers, administrators, staff, parents, and such. Now, here we go. School culture influences the way people interact, learn, and work together, and it sets the tone for the overall educational experience. There you go. So now let's break this down. Culture is a fancy word for traditions. That's what culture really is. That's all the culture is. Culture is your traditions. What are traditions? Traditions are things what you routinely do over time, traditionally. Like if you were to go to another country, you say, oh, I want to be immersed in their culture. What do you want to be immersed in? The things that they traditionally do. That's what a culture is. Now, there are two different types of culture. Two, believe it or not, two. The first kind of culture is your operational culture. How do you operate? These are the systems that you have in place in your building or in your classroom. How do kids walk into the classroom? How do they walk in the hallway? How do they come in the building? How do you schedule? How do you hold a meeting? How do you set up an assembly? All the operational culture, the operations within a school or classroom. The second type of culture is your behavioral culture. The behavioral culture is how do people traditionally behave? How do they talk to each other? Right? What is tolerated? What is allowed? The expected actions and the associated tolerances for members of the organization. How do teachers talk to teachers? How do teachers talk to students? How do students talk to students? How do administrators talk to students? How does everybody talk to each other? All right, we have all of our parts, right? We have what we say we respect and value collectively: teamwork, integrity, accountability. I'm just picking 3 words, y'all. Climate, it fluctuates throughout the year around that. And then we have our operational culture, bottom gray line, behavioral culture, top gray line. Here's the thing, gang. I'm going to come out, so I want you to hear me on this. We know that when the climate is positive, people do better. We are emotional creatures. Yes? Yes. So therefore, when we feel better, we do better. So what do schools do? Schools do fun things in order to help the people to feel better. We do a spirit week, a spirit day. We do a fun event. We give out little trinkets and stuff. Don't get me wrong. You need to do these things, all right? Do them. Although that will not maintain a systemic positive school climate over a longer period of time. Those are just moments. In order to maintain a positive climate over time, you need to work on the what? The culture. The culture, the behavioral culture and the operational culture must be in alignment with what you respect and value. And when those things get closer in alignment to what you respect and value, those lines move closer together. Those lines move closer together. And when those lines move closer together, what happens to the climate? It levels out. It levels out, right? You don't see those big swells. Oh my goodness, what do those kids say? Oh, they're cursing. Oh, let's have the meeting after the meeting. Let's talk about people. Oh, down here, what are we doing? Why did we have that meeting? The hallways are a hot mess. And no, let's align with teamwork, integrity, accountability. Teamwork, integrity, accountability. Now, climate is still wavy. People are people, emotions are emotions, but you don't have those swells. Does this make sense? Siobhan, does this make sense? Does this connect with this connects with people?
Oh my gosh, it's definitely connecting with me. And I'm seeing like very happy emojis, some hearts, and some all the sparkly things too. I will tell you, it definitely, I've never heard it broken down like this. I absolutely love this.
This makes so much sense to me. Because here's the thing, now you know exactly what you need to do. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been in education a very long time, all right? I think it's 28 years for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been to so many professional developments, webinars, trainings where they give you philosophy, but they don't tell you what to do. To me, this diagram tells you exactly what you need to do. Work on get a common understanding of what you respect and value, and then start moving those things closer for your operation and behavioral. Get them closer, hold people accountable. That's how this works. That's how this works. Right?
I love it.
There it is. Okay, so we've identified so far with the results formula what you respect and value. Now, I took extra time on that because it's very important, right? But now, once you've identified what you respect and value, you have an understanding of what culture and climate is, next is recognize. What you're going to do, the adults, you're going to recognize students and staff when they do what it is you respect and value. So if you say that you are all about teamwork, integrity, and accountability, those are the 3 I'm picking now, right? You need to start recognizing when people are doing what it is you respect and value. Now, let me clarify recognition. Recognition does not mean we're giving anybody anything. All right. I'm not giving you a pencil. I'm not giving you a sticker. I'm not giving you a certificate. Recognition means open your mouth and say something nice. That is it. When people do what it is you expect them to do, you recognize them. Here's the issue, though. When we say recognition, a lot of times people say good job and they keep moving. No, you need to quantify that. Good job, that goes with accountability. That's what we're all about here. Awesome job. That really shows teamwork. Way to go, gang. That's what we're about here. Hey, that really showcases some integrity. Way to go. You see what I'm saying? As opposed to just a good job. Way to go. Is it more words? Yes. But would you rather say more words on positive things, or would you rather say more words on stop that, keep going that, why are you doing that, get over here? You know what I mean? There's the difference there. I see some applause coming here. I see getting some emoji feedback. That's what this is. That's what we're talking about here, gang. Open your mouth and say some nice things. Now, I get it. Some people have an issue with saying nice things. Some people have some issue with recognition. They do. So let's talk about reasons to not give recognition. All right. These are the things that I've heard a lot of. People say, I don't know how. I don't know how to do the recognition thing. I don't know how. Open your mouth and say something nice. That answers that. If you can't figure out how to say something nice, then something's wrong with you. I don't have time. I don't have time for this. You know what's on my plate? You see my scope and sequence chart. You see what I got going on. I got too much. I can't do recognition. Do you have enough time to whine, cry, moan, and complain about everything going on? If you have enough time to whine, cry, moan, and complain, you have enough time to say, way to go, good job, I'm proud of you, keep it up. People don't care about it that much. People don't care about this recognition thing. That's easy. Go to Google, go to Bing, go to the search engine, type in #1 reason why people give up. There'll be study after study after study showing the #1 reason why people give up is because they don't feel like they're recognized for the work that they do. Let's do 3 more. It's not my job. It's not my job to recognize. Leave that to the Climate Culture Committee. Is it your job to whine, cry, moan, and complain about everything going on? It is? Please, let me see your contract. Oh, Section 4, Line 3, complain about everything. Please continue. Yeah. If it's not your job to whine, cry, moan, and complain, it doesn't have to be your job to say, way to go, keep it up, I'm proud of you. Here's my favorite one, right? I've heard this one a lot, specifically at the middle and high school level, believe it or not. Why recognize students for just doing their job? It's their job to come to school. I'm not going to recognize them for what they're supposed to do. All right, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Let's say that we're all at high school, and the football team made it to the championships, state champs. We're all going to show up to this game. We're going to pack the stands out. Nobody cheer until the end. Sit there silently. At the end of the game, bravo. Love what you did in the 3rd quarter. That was fabulous. Does that make any sense? No. That football moves ahead a half an inch. We are screaming our heads off. Let's go, baby. That football goes backwards a yard. It's okay. Let's go. But wait, isn't it the football player's job to play football? Why are we cheering for what they're supposed to do? Because we want to encourage them. We want them to identify when they do something good. We want them to do better. But yet in schools, what do? We wait to the end of the school year for the award ceremony. Bravo. Love what you did in the 3rd quarter. That was fabulous. That doesn't make any sense. Don't get me wrong. I love a good award ceremony, but we should be recognizing them all along the way, encouraging them. Right? Makes sense to me. Last one. It becomes meaningless if done too much. Real quick, raise your hands, everybody, if you've been recognized way too much. No, come on, bring it on up. As long as it's genuine, I don't see how you can do it too much. All right? Here, let me give you this one last thing as it relates to recognition. It's called Daytime DJ Voice, Nighttime DJ Voice. If you ever read the book called Don't Split the Difference, this is a phenomenal strategy. So let's think about the radio DJ. All right, Siobhan, I'm going to ask you this one. All right. So if you're listening to the radio, the late night radio DJ, what does the late night radio DJ sound like?
sounds very soft and
There
quiet.
you go. There you go. Mellow, soft,
Yeah.
sexy. Right? There you go.
Yeah.
That's the nighttime DJ voice. Hey, this is Big Steve on the radio, y'all. I want you to sit back, relax, and listen to these smooth tunes, right? That's it.
Yep.
All right. Now, let's go with daytime DJ, or better yet, we'll go with morning. What's the morning DJ voice sound like?
Ooh, they're really hyper excited and trying to get you ready for your day.
That's right. Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Big Steve on the radio. We got great things that are going on. Have you checked out the weather lately? Oh my goodness. Whoop, whoop, Santa. Yeah, great. There you go. Over the top, energetic. All right. Now we have the two voices in our head. We have nighttime DJ voice, soft, mellow. Daytime DJ voice, whoop, whoop, excited. I believe in schools, we are utilizing these voices backwards at times. Student does something wrong, something they're not supposed to do, against what you respect and value. Hey, get over here. What are you doing? Cut that out. I'm disappointed. That's your daytime DJ voice for something negative. Student does something right, does something that goes to what you respect and value. Good job. Keep it up. Way to go. No, that's backwards. That is backwards. You are using your nighttime DJ voice for something good. If a student does something respect and value, does something well, oh my goodness, way to go. Hey, that is awesome. Now, I'm not telling you to do backflips and high kicks, but at least raise your eyebrows and act like you're happy. My goodness. Student does something wrong, something that you don't respect and value. Hey, get over here. Let's have a conversation. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. The only time you should use a daytime DJ voice for something negative is for safety reasons, to get their attention. And at that point, you bring it back down to the lowest emotional level. So you argue me this. If you were in a school where all the adults started using daytime and nighttime DJ voice, would that make an impact? Huge. Especially if you're in the upper elementary to high school, it would make a monstrously huge difference because they're used to getting yelled at. They're used to the opposite. All kids, K through 12, they love to see adults get hyped up. They do. Why are they only seeing you get hyped up over negative things?
That's true.
So we're talking about recognition. What's that?
I experienced that as well in my home with my daughters, especially my youngest one. She's always like, "Oh my gosh, mom, I got a, A on my test." And we're like, well, her dad is like, "Well, that's what you're supposed to do." And I'm like, she want me to do cheerleaders and like you said, kicks and everything to just say, I'm so proud of you. And then a lot of that factors into like the personalities too, right? So I had to learn to do a better job at really using my morning DJ voice for all the great stuff. And then like you toning it down and getting really serious for the bad stuff.
There is nothing wrong with making a kid feel bad because you're disappointed. It's called learn. They didn't do, hey, I'm not happy with that. Show that grief because they don't feel affected by it. But when they do well, what? Girl, you got a B? Last time you got a D? What? That's what I'm talking about. Wait, fist bump it. Right? Now, next time, let's work on getting that A, girl. There's a way that you can say this. Right? It's so, it goes so far. I don't know anybody who gets recognized properly. Like if you really got nice words said to you and then do something worse, then do bad. Anybody who gets positive recognition, they usually want to either try to get that again or not. Anyway, if y'all take nothing else, daytime DJ voice, nighttime DJ voice, get that in your head, y'all. Right? All right, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it going, guys. We talked about what you recognize. What you respect and value, 3 words, maybe 4, collective commitment of what you respect and value. We know what climate and culture really means. We're internally branding it. Now you're going to recognize students and staff when they do what it is you recognize, what they respect and value using your daytime DJ voice. And then the next one is a reward. Now, when I say reward, this is when you do give something. This is the stuff, tangible stuff in hand. There is a spot in here for the rewards. All right. Now, with rewards, let me explain the difference between rewards and recognition. Rewards and recognition. Recognition means that you are using your voice and you are recognizing students for what they're supposed to do. You reward when they go above and beyond what they're supposed to do. That's the difference. They have to earn that. When they go above and beyond what they are supposed to do, then you're getting so much more. That gives you the reward. They've earned it. So whenever I'm talking about rewards, all right, I say the word VTW. That's a Renaissance, Jocelyn's Renaissance word. VTW. Letter V, letter T, letter W. Means it's visible, tangible, walk aroundable. Meaning that you can see it, you can touch it, and they can walk around and show it off. That's what you got to do, right? And when we talk about rewards, I love to say this: no secret rewards. What does that mean, no secret rewards? No secret rewards means that the students should know what they have to do to get the reward. If they don't know what they have to do to get the reward, and now you're giving them a reward, it's one of two things. It's either a gift or a bribe. There's nothing wrong with a gift, right? Citizen of the Month. They didn't realize, congratulations, you got Citizen of the Month. Oh my gosh, I did? That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But if you give somebody a reward and they're like, what did I do to get this? You don't know, you did this. Oh, I did? You just bribed them. You just bribed them. So it needs to be clearly stated what it is that they need to do to get the reward. Now here's a question, Siobhan. Here's a question. When it comes to rewards, it doesn't have to be expensive. There is one thing, K through 12, kindergarten through 12th grade, pre-K through 12th grade, which is a phenomenal reward. It's super cheap. What do you think that might be, that one reward?
I don't know.
Yeah. Here's the thing. There are college teams, football teams out there. If a player does something really well, they give them one of these and they put them on their helmet.
Is it like a patch or something?
It's a sticker. They're a college team. You do something good on the football field, you get a little sticker to put on your helmet. Those guys will kill someone on the football field for a sticker. K through 12, one of the best rewards you can give kids are stickers. I don't care if they're little kids, big kids, they love stickers. So what I'm saying is when you have this reward system, it doesn't have to be outlandish. You don't have to break the bank. Go to the dollar store, get some stickers, right? If you really want to get fancy, go to Walmart, get shiny stickers. If you want to go over the top, Oriental trading, smelly stickers. Those kids will be like, yeah, I'll keep doing it. They'll be addicted. Even that kid who acts up all the time, he earns a sticker. I don't care. I'm gonna put it all over my face. But they put it on their face and they're walking around with it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's when we're talking about rewards. So what have we done? So far, we've had identify what you respect and value. We understand what culture and climate is, internally branded. We're recognizing students and staff when they do what it is you respect and value, using your daytime DJ voice. You have a reward system directly connected to what you respect and value when they go above and beyond showcasing teamwork, integrity, accountability. And you have to have that clearly stated somewhere so they know what you have to do to get the rewards. And the last one is what? Reinforce. Reinforce. Now, if you were to go to Google Images, all right, you bring up a window, go to Google, click on Images, type in the word reinforcement. What images will show up are what you see in the background there: rebarb, framing, scaffolding for buildings, because those are the reinforcement things that hold stuff together. Now, if you're looking at this, you can see there's not one bar holding everything together. There's not one wooden beam holding it together. There's hundreds, if not thousands of them to hold it all together. So that would lead me to say, you're going to go to the first three words that I just talked about: respect, recognize, and reward. And you're going to do it again and again and again and again. And then you're going to do it again and again and again and again. And when you're done with that, you do it again. You're constantly identifying and talking about what you respect and value. You're constantly recognizing kids when they do, and staff when they do what you respect and value. You have a reward system that you're not going to give up on. You do it again and you do it again and again and again. Now, if you're doing something over again and again and again and again and again and again, year after year, eventually it turns into a tradition, right? And what is tradition a fancy word for?
Culture.
culture. See how this works, gang? See how this works? This is totally 100% possible. Now, I know you're sitting back and you're thinking, well, how do I get everybody on board? That's impossible. How do we do that? It's called consistency. And you get a jump start getting everyone on board when you have collectively found out what everyone respects and value. So even your naysayers can't talk against it. They were a part of the process to identify what you respect and value. It's that consistency, which goes right back to reinforcement. Consistency and reinforcement are the same thing. Right? And those people that just can't handle it, don't want to be a part of it, will eventually fade away. And if they don't fade away, as leaders, now I'm talking to my school leaders here, you have to have the no sabotage conversation. What's the no sabotage conversation? It is when you have the not seers, I call them Nazis, they cannot see what it is we're trying to do. The not seers, you pull them into your office and say, look, I understand you do not want, you're not for this. You do not like this. That is correct. Good. I understand. I need you to tell me that you will not sabotage what it is we're doing. That is a very difficult conversation to have, but you have that conversation and you're going to get one of two answers. The first answer you may get is, oh my goodness, I can't believe that you would say that. I have been here for so long. Oh, all right, whatever. And you just sit there, let the silence do the heavy lifting. And at the end you go, okay, so that's a yes, right? The second response you're going to get is they'll say this, fine. Which means what? It means that's what they were going to do. But you now have a verbal understanding from you, a word, that they won't do that. All right? Now, let's wrap all this up, gang, because I snuck in another additional R on you. Uh-oh. I snuck in relationships. Relationships. Because relationships matter, y'all. And you and all of you know this. You know that developing those positive relationships with the kids, be vulnerable, connect with them, smile with them, laugh with them. All right. Sometimes we get so caught up in the behaviors and the discipline, we forget the important part of just developing those relationships, because students learn better from people that they think like them. If you act like you like them, it increases the probability of success. Remember, reduce, not eliminate. We're not going to eliminate the issues, problems, and concerns, but we can make it better overall when you develop those positive relationships. You do all of those things, and you're going to get the results that you want to see. You're going to move closer to the results that you want to see. Reduce, not eliminate. We're not going to eliminate the issues, problems, and concerns, but we will get you closer to what the results that you want to see. You will have an environment that's more inviting, an environment that people feel better. And when they feel better, they will do better. It's going to take some time. I never said this was easy. I never said that this was going to happen in seconds, but you stay consistent with it. You will end up having the results that you want to see. That's what it is, gang. That is the results formula. Boom. Let's look at it one more time. Which respect, recognize, reward, and reinforce gives you the result, and add the relationships, gives you the results that you want to see. Woo, why am I out of breath, Siobhan? I'm like,
I don't know, because you went into DJ mode. I think you might have a second career.
I went into DJ mode. I'm like, yeah. But I do. I feel passionately about this. It is totally possible. As many schools that I can help, guide them, empower them so that they can start making that change, making those adjustments, making the schools a place that everybody wants to be, not just the students, but the staff and the community.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for this, Steve. This has been phenomenal. I have a quick poll to launch. It's only 4 questions. If you guys could weigh in on these 4 questions, it would really help us as we continue to evolve the programming for the Empowered Ed project and promoting How right now. If you have any questions or comments or thoughts you'd like to share, feel free to drop them in the comments box on this poll or in the chat. And be sure to tune in and be on the lookout for our next How Right Now webinar, which is going to be next Wednesday. It's going to be at 7:30, and it's going to be with Harris. Now, stand tall, Steve. Can you help me out with Harris's last name? Uh-oh, I put you
No,
on the
I'm
spot.
just as bad as you are. I was just
Even on my phone, it came up as Harris, and he hasn't given me all the details yet, but he's
yeah,
gonna be here. It's
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be
yeah.
phenomenal, and he is all set and ready to talk, some really
Mm,
good stuff and strategies for the classroom and teachers being able to be there for themselves,
mm,
actually. So
right.
that is really, really exciting. And also, we'd like for you to save the date for June 24th and 25th. We'll be hosting the Empowered Ed Project Summit here in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you think that was good, then just wait until you come to Rich Heart Global Studios on June 24th and 25th. We have
Yeah, I'm
some
really
fun
excited
things
about
in
that. It's gonna be
store.
awesome. Yes,
Yes,
be there.
indeed. And there'll be goodies and giveaways, so you don't want to miss out on that. And without further ado, I'll end the poll. And it looks like everyone is really excited and feel like they got value out of this session. And they are willing to share the How Right Now campaign with their districts. And it's about 50-50 as to whether or not they would like to join us at the summit on the 24th and 25th. I know that's kind
Well,
of a
tell
hard
your
time.
friends, tell your friends, tell your friends. That's what it is.
Yes, awesome. So thank you again so much for being here. And I want to thank you again, Steve. And I will see you in just a couple of days or so when we touch
Yeah,
base. All
we'll
right.
touch base again. That's awesome. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, have a good night.